Canadian activist residing in Ottawa. He was previously the Vice President of Justice Without Borders Coalition, an NGO that tackles oppression on visible minorities. He is best known for exposing mainstream media lies and has a gift for articulating world events as they happen. He can be seen at the forefront of many human rights protests, engaging with the media and educating the public on world issues as they happen. Kamel is the leader of Hands Off Our Kids, a movement embracing principles of human dignity, freedom of thought, and religious freedoms. Kamel, thank you for being here and thank you for your work.
Thank you for doing it. Guys, a round of applause for David. First of all, I want to say God bless each and every one of you. And that's the point of this rally today. I want to bring you back down memory lane and the reasons as to why we came together like this, and this cohesion is forever growing. And I don't usually look into notes, but because I have so many wins for you, ladies and gentlemen, I had to write the stats down from our teams from BC to Saskatchewan to Nova Scotia to Alberta to the GTA and the win in Peel. I have specific stats, and we're also building the intel in the schools of discrete parents that are educators, that are principals, that are teachers and volunteers and administrators. We are the 98.4% of the straight tide. We're not looking to oppress anybody, but we can also be bold. We are a land of sorries and thank yous and compassion. That is the Canadian fabric, ladies and gentlemen. But we can still be stern on our kids. A year ago today, well, actually 2 days ago, so that would be June the 13th, I met a lot of you. And you were fighting in your respective organizations. You were fighting as a parent, but you didn't really know what to expect. You were being scolded in the media. You were called domestic terrorists. Do you remember that? Do you remember that it got so ugly that the degeneracy in the streets in Toronto where pedophiles, gay pedophile middle-aged men took off their clothes and were showing their ornaments to children as young as 5 years old? We can't forget those scenes.
And they were twerking.
And of course, I can't say some of the stuff that's happened there because I don't want to be promoting porn or sexuality. I want to promote genuine love, a mother's love, a couple's love that are wed in matrimony at the altar in the churches, or in the mosque, or in the synagogues, in the Buddhist temples and the gurdwaras. That's what I'd like to promote. Half the time, I stop and I think of the terms they've repeated to us, ladies and gentlemen. My beautiful wife gave us 3 kids. Now, I was the result of that, yes. But they wanted us to say, we are pregnant. We are not pregnant. We are expecting, ladies and gentlemen. She is pregnant.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
So they've even gotten into the English language, which is a beautiful language. I went to high school here in Ottawa. I studied Macbeth and Romeo and Juliet and Julius Caesar. And there's one part of Julius Caesar where he says, I don't know, I think it was Cassius. He says, you rocks, you stones, you more than senseless things. And I say that to you, Mr. Prime Minister, and the degenerate people around you. You rocks, you stones, you more than senseless things, because you have no empathy for Canadians. Brothers and sisters, fellow Canadians, you also saw the man, again, I don't want to articulate the sexual connotations, but he took his clothes off and he was dancing in front of little kids as the sister was singing.
Working.
Yes. And parents, some parents were there. These people were getting a kick out of this. Now again, ladies and gentlemen, we also had a gay imam. I've never heard such a thing. I'm a practicing Muslim. I'm 44 years old. Never heard such a thing. Okay? Go and surprise 4 of our local high schools, ladies and gentlemen. 4 of our local high schools. They locked the students up and they took fabrications of the Quran and were promoting degeneracy there. The kids, I got called down, and they were massive protests that the nation saw.
Yeah.
That's a win for all Canadians. I met Josh Alexander at Carling. Now, he didn't know who I am because I'm a businessman by trade. And I said, kid, I've been an activist for 25 years of my life because I love my country. But I'm also a businessman. That's my full-time job. And I said to this kid, my name is Kamel, and I'm here because you're my son's age. My son, Matty, he's just right there. He was 17 at the time. And I saw what happened to you, kid. But I promise you one thing. This is probably going to be the biggest thing you'll ever see. And you're going to enjoy the party with me, kid. And he was there on September 20th. And I promised him that 1 million people march. Guys, in business people, we're a weird breed. We work 16, 17 hours a day. We work on stats. We work on results. We adjust our organizations. We know what we're capable of. Now, as a Canadian, as a proud business Canadian, I had a network throughout the country and overseas, and I was willing to put my money where my mouth was, and Canadians came down and worked together with me to get this march. And today you guys are celebrating that with the My Child June campaign that we've been doing all of June, and the One Nation Under God rally. God bless you.
Yeah.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, what is My Child June? Well, for years now, we are Canadians. We don't want to offend. We are certainly not violent. We are blunt and we are stern. We could be loud if you want us to be.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
But we're not violent. We're a peaceful country. Now, this is the thing that I think has been taken for granted, because do not take our kindness for weakness.
Correct.
We are a patient bunch. We are parents. We are grandmothers and grandfathers. But we, a year ago until this day, we said no, and that was a solid no. My Child June, if you remember, I had received intel throughout the country. I know a lot of politicians because a lot of them are close friends of mine, and some of them want to stay discreet. They're in all parties. Yes, our politicians throughout betrayed Canadians. Yes, they signed a document serving a guy with a German accent. We know it. But guys, what we wanted was to bring people together and to build something that affirms the Canadian fabric. September 20th was not a one and done event. September 20th, the Million People March, this one is probably projected to be more than 1.5 million. We're expecting 2 to 6 million people from coast to coast. That's September 20th, and we're working on that right now with your help. September 20th, ladies and gentlemen, is the start of the school year. What we're telling the country is, here's my kid. We're going to put him in this class, and we're going to follow up with my child, June, to reaffirm that Canada's children belong to Canada's parents.
And we want to know the curriculum.
Now, we've also have worked behind the scenes for 7 months, ladies and gentlemen. People were like, where's Hands Off Our Kids? What are they doing? I didn't stop working.
Right on.
And so did all of our executives. David can attest to that. He's in the groups, he's reporting on it. We've quadrupled in staff, ladies and gentlemen. We've added partners in Campaign Life, or NCI, or the Mama Bears, or Veterans for Freedom. As a matter of fact, I named an education ambassador in Nova Scotia from Veterans for Freedom, my friend and brother, Jeff Evely, to be the education ambassador there to report to our education wing.
Good.
The education wing mandate, our lead is Amina, who is a PhD in chemistry, a tutor, and a grandmother. And this lady took on the task to represent the department in the rest of the country. So we have education ambassadors in Milton, in Brampton, in Sherbrooke, Quebec. We have them in Alberta, in Saskatchewan. And we are not queer. You know how they say we're here, we're queer, and we're coming for your kids? We are here, we're not queer, and we're going to protect Canada's kids. I promise you that.
Yeah. Me too.
Thank you. Now, My Child June campaign. You know the colorful community that's never satiated? They always want something. Oh, my feeling, I'm wearing a bracelet now. If it's pink, I'm she, them, they, their. I can't even pronounce these pronouns anymore. I don't attest to them. There's only 2 pronouns, 2 sexes in my mind, and it's 1 male and 1 female.
That's it.
Yes, under God. This is the One Nation Under God rally. Ladies and gentlemen, My Child June, on June the 3rd, we asked you, Canadians, to boycott the raising of the pride flag that has the pedophilia connotations to it. The results are in, and obviously my good friend and brother David Creighton reported on that. On average, ladies and gentlemen, 50% participation nationwide. A lot of the classes, ladies and gentlemen, were consolidated. Now, again, they had a backup plan. So did we. They said, you know what? Since these Hands Off Our Kids guy, that Muslim Canadian guy there, did it on the 3rd, how about we do it on the 4th and 5th? Well, we had plans up until the 13th, just in case.
Good. Awesome.
So, on the 4th, I'm going to give you the Ottawa statistics. I had to write them down because they're very, very inspiring. On the 4th, Ottawa had 50% participation on average. Some schools completely were shut down. The staff were there. Some schools had 90%. The French public school boards, and we received intel that there are 31 schools. They're opening 3 in September, 1 in Manotick. Okay, you want more stats than that? Of the 31 schools, on average, there was a 70% participation boycott.
Good. That's huge.
Now some of you are curious, whoa, 70%. Does that mean some schools are at 90? Yes. And I'm going to give you some of that stats. In Ottawa, we have the 70%. Do you guys know the school named L'Odyssée Publique in Orleans? Some of you recognize that school. Well, that school, ladies and gentlemen, has about 423 kids. While I was doing my live on TikTok, I got suspended for 3 days because they wanted to know where that leak came from. 160 parents came back, picked up their kids, and they were frustrated with the school. So that gave us a percentage of 50, I would say, no, actually 43%. The school itself had the pride raising ceremony on June the 4th. It was scheduled, our intel again, you know, we're business people, right? We give you numbers. At 10:15, it was brought to our attention that they would be raising that colorful flag. I was there. The superintendent had to come to the school because the lady, the principal, I told her my name is Kamel. I gave her my full name. She Googled me and she's like, I need some help. I need a superintendent in school. So I delayed it at an hour and a half. At 11:23, they raised the flag with 7 people. Gabriel Leroy the next day on the 4th. Now we're talking, again, they're pulling a fast one. 50 parents came to the school and pulled their kids.
Yeah.
That's an elementary school that's got like 300 or 400 people.
Nice.
Michel Jean. I was at the picnic the other day, invited by a lot of parents, a lot of discreet intel. The school has 738 children. Can you take a guess how many children boycotted on the day after our call for the June 3rd protest? Give me a number.
500.
700.
You're close. 591 students of the 738 for a total of 80%. Now, wait a sec here. We're not done. There was 147 students left on that day of June 4th. Parents found out, oh, you're raising the pride flag. Kamel told us it was on the June the 3rd. So those Christian and Muslim families came back, picked up 73 more kids. So they had a total of 70 kids for a total of 9.4% in the school of the 738. How's that, ladies and gentlemen?
What about Peel?
We're gonna get the deal.
Okay.
Michel Depuis. Oh, anybody recognize that school? Anybody have kids in that school? 436 students. Now, oh, wait a sec. Where are we getting all this data? Well, guess what? I was serious about the tide, the straight tide. That's the counter to your pride. We're 98.4% of Canadians. I was also serious about CSIS. A lot of them work with us. Their parents. Okay? They're pissed. And our Prime Minister, he tried. They hacked our website. It crashed for 5 days because all of you wanted to come and volunteer and help out. Sorry?
Who's CSIS?
Canadian Security Intelligence.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Service.
Thank
Service,
you.
yes.
Thank you.
So I'm going to take you to Michel Depuis School, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Of the 436 students, 265 boycotted that day for a total of 61%.
Yay! Beautiful.
I got off the phone with people in Saskatchewan. There's a lot of ones there. I'm not going to go into details because I was ready to write. She had 20 or 30 wins for me. I said, you know what, keep it for the media. You can watch it there. Our GTA team, ladies and gentlemen, remember those guys? A shout out to Kareem, Kellyanne Wolf, and Beata in the GTA, our education ambassadors and movement city managers there. Our Dr. Ann Gillies, chief therapist of the movement, working very hard. A lot of mavericks, ladies and gentlemen. Do you remember watching the Peel School Board protest on June the 11th? Well, that was a win for parents. I'm not going to articulate it. Go watch the videos and the loud cheers of the parents who were sad last year.
Amen.
Now, here's another one. I got a lot of intel from BC. There was a document, Kamel, and this guy is a very powerful man with a lot of very powerful people in there, probably going to lunch with a lot of these guys, and they don't even know. And I'm gonna wink on that one. Our BC team, ladies and gentlemen. Remember how parents, we've been fighting for a year for the SOGI?
Yeah.
There was a document and they said, Camille, those are for your eyes only. I'm like, yes, but I got a best friend. His name is David Creighton. I'd like to give him something too. So can you make a document for his eyes and the people's eyes? So those people in those vulnerable positions are not compromised. He's like, okay, yeah, but this one's for your eyes. I'm like, thank you very much. So apparently there's a document that was circulating on the boards that said teachers and educators and principals can change any of the agendas. But with us, they gave us a hard time because they were trying to change something about anti-Semitism or whatever. So you can do it. You just chose not to do it. Okay? That's BC, ladies and gentlemen.
That's horrible. Yeah.
So I got a lot of stats here. I don't want to bore you with facts and numbers. I'll leave that with a report with David Creighton. But this is what I want from you. This is a marathon. It certainly is not a sprint. We know that marathons are 41 kilometers. I know we did the 1 million people march on September 20th, and you guys all came out. You were loud. I know a lot of you want to volunteer. Our website goes down because there's a plethora of volunteers that want to come up. I mean, we just named a new MCM, Christine McPherson. I want to thank her, part of the Ottawa chair for NCI. She's also our movement city manager for Ottawa West Nepean. Christine, I apologize to her. I made her wait a year. That's the support that we're getting, ladies and gentlemen. There's people that want to work. We're building this as we go. Please bear with us. Go to handsoffourkids.ca. You want to help out. You could help out in a public role. I'm a public figure. You see me. Dr. Ann is a public figure. We also have confidential people that you will never meet that manage 200,000 people for me in the movement. You will never meet in your life. And those two attributes of our movement is what's making our movement successful. My child June is yours. I know it's an idea. It came out of our team, but we want to serve our country. This is my form of charity to you.
Right on.
What does it mean to you? We're asking you, the parent. I'm visiting the schools and I'm in the principal's face that's oppressing the parents. I'm in the teacher's face that's oppressing the parent. And all it takes is you taking the time, going with your kids and be in their face.
And the grandparents.
They're not used to it.
And the grandparents.
And the grandparents. And I also want to especially thank the grandparents this month, because we asked for one day nationwide protest, which was very successful. But Trudeau decided, you know what, let's do 4th and 5th and 6th and 7th. But you guys stepped up and you babysat those kids until parents went to work and were able to pick up their kids. That's the sacrifice you need to make, and we need to continue to do that. God bless you. 2 events, ladies and gentlemen. September 20th is a nationwide affirmation. Hands off my kids.
Yeah.
Whether it's Christian kids, Muslim kids, Buddhist, Black and Caucasian. Hands off our kids.
Amen.
And it's a follow-up. It's no more Pride June, because you guys don't procreate. No offense. No offense. You came from us.
Yeah.
It's my child June. God bless you, and God keep our land glorious and free.
Yay! Awesome.